On this week's podcast, we discuss training for real-life conflict, both jiu-jitsu and otherwise.
Your first tournament and what to expect and why jumping weight classes is not that big of a deal.
Being one-dimensional in jiu-jitsu and how that can affect your game.
Preparing yourself for real-life situations and why martial arts can help you in general.
Listening to your body and the injuries that you have, not to overtrain. Let's get dangerous. Welcome back to the pod, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Kenny. I'm here with Matt. What's going on, brother?
What's up, dude? Gabby Garcia looks like Goro from Mortal Kombat.
You're not wrong there. That is a fucking accurate representation. She's just missing two arms. That's all. Episode 47.
Episode 47.
So this one is, we don't have any news to talk about, no jiu-jitsu news, because as we mentioned in last episode, there's not a whole lot of news going on in the jiu-jitsu world until CJI and ADCC happens.
CJI 1J.
So I wanted to talk about some things. So I don't know why I've had this like weird feeling lately, but
Feeling for more cowbell?
always more cowbell. But like I don't know what's going on. We're not going to get into political beliefs right now. I just know it's a weird ass election that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel uneasy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember last election
Mm-hmm.
and what followed that. And there was rioting and there was looting and shit got crazy during the pandemic. And, you know, there was points in time where I was just like, there was genuine concern for my wife. Like, you know, like we live in a relatively safe town, I feel like, but we're not far from Riverside, San Diego, and LA. You know, we're kind of in between all three of those.
Also, literally 5 minutes away, next to the duck pond, there's always protests and signs.
Right.
And like it goes off right there in that
Right.
little section. That's like a 5 minute drive.
Right. If that.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, I have to, as the husband and father and the leader of my family, I feel I have to be prepared. And I feel like I have to do more in regards to preparation. I feel like, yes, I'm doing jiu-jitsu. Yes, I know how to shoot a gun, but I feel like I need to be more prepared. I need to be as prepared as possible. And because of that, I'm not like a prepper or anything like that, but I've started to collect items to keep my family safe and to keep myself safe. So there's some different types of training. I'm going to be going through some like combat first aid training, like dressing wounds, trying to tourniquet stuff, gunshot wounds, things like that. I'd like to do some more in-depth shooting training, not just hitting steel targets, but some stress stuff. And I'd like to do some more like realistic grappling stuff where it's not, point jiu-jitsu, sport jiu-jitsu, but more, here's a fake knife. Can you get out of this kind of a thing?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking like you as somebody who teaches, like I feel like the stuff that like Tim Kennedy's doing with Sheepdog Response, where he's mixing his combat skills with his jiu-jitsu skills and, teaching people like how to defend themselves and like, how we'd spoke about in the past, with 6 minutes till the cops arrive, or like, if I can't get through this fight, like my family's dead kind of a thing.
Mm.
Like, so I ordered a knife from Benchmade that comes with like a training blade as well. So it's like same weight, same handle and everything else. It's just not sharpened. So that I can at least practice pulling that knife and some techniques, whether it be getting a dummy and practicing on that or whatnot, but just some stuff. It's better than nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to be ready. It's good to have skills and not need them than to need them and not have them.
Right.
Right. And I feel as millennials, we are a lot better than our dads before us and our grandfathers before them when it comes to like nurturing and being dads and being fathers and being better men to our women and stuff like that. But we have also regressed. What we have regressed in as males is we don't have that fight and that battle tested and that,
right.
you know what I mean? We've got smarter and more caring, but we've kind of lost that alpha dog
Right.
that we should have. And I feel like,
Right. The world hasn't changed enough for that to go, the need for that to go away.
and I feel like a lot of men feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right now. Because if this shit happens, like, oh, we're going to have a civil war. Ain't nobody prepared for a civil war.
No, not at all.
Okay? There's nobody.
No.
You know, like the hood will riot, but the people who are doing the right thing have to go to work on Monday.
Right.
And it's like, it's not, no matter what happens, like a lot of guys are just not prepared. Are you prepared for a riot to come to your house and a break and entry? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Do you have the gear to fight that off? Yes. Do you have the gear to say something bad happens? Do you have the tourniquet? What if you take a round?
Right.
Like you fought off a round, but do you have the tourniquet for a bullet?
Right.
Or like, okay, I fought the guy off, but now I'm bleeding out.
Right.
Do you have that to stop that?
I have the stuff now.
Right. But like, a lot of people think of like offense only.
Right.
There's defense too.
Right. Yeah. You know, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the pod, but during the pandemic, when the mask thing first became a thing, there were people that were going around. Like I caught this on my Ring doorbell at my front door.
Did we talk about this one episode?
I don't know. Maybe I'm going to mention it anyway because it's been a while. There were two men at my door, 3:00 in the morning, casing my front porch, flipped my doormat looking for a key, grabbed my door handle, tried to open my front door, and then eventually left. My door is open. They're coming in.
They're in.
Yeah. You know, so once I saw that on the Ring doorbell, like my wife's barber. I've mentioned this many times. She's got a bunch of clients that are cops. She talked to her clients about it and was like, what do we do? He's like, you greet them with a shotgun. Like you shoot them. Do they enter your home? And they're like, well, what if they were hypothetically at our front door again, like trying to get in? He goes, you open the door with a gun in your hand, kind of a thing. Like, you know, you don't let them just like they need to understand that like this is a house you don't fuck with, kind of a thing.
Yeah, there's no warning shots. There's no like, hey, I got a gun.
Yeah.
I might say, hey, I got a gun after I've already emptied 2 rounds. Like, I'm not like, look at, you want to like cover your ass, like, oh, they broke and entered. I don't want to go to jail forever. I'm in the mindset, like, if someone's coming into my house when I'm not respecting them to and it's late at night,
right,
I'll go to jail forever for my kids.
Yeah, 100%.
Just put me in an orange suit.
Yeah.
Like, you shot unjust. He was just coming. No, he's dead, dude.
Right.
Like, I'm not going down with empty. There's going to be no empty bullets. There's going to be no empty hands.
I'm not taking a chance.
Like, and then you also got to think, which sucks as a man, you got to think if I fail.
Right.
Is there a strategy for your wife? Is there a strategy for your kid?
Right.
Like an exit strategy, right?
Yeah. No, we've discussed all of that.
So like you got to be ready, you know, adding grappling, adding jiu-jitsu, that's part of it. Adding firearm training, that's part of it. Adding exit strategy is part of it. Adding wound care, that's part of it. There's all this stuff that we've kind of forgot as society, but we should be smart with. If the power grid goes down, which is what every conservative is scared of that right now.
Right.
The power grid. They're going to ruin the power grid and ruin the election. And then what? If the power grid goes down, do you have water? Do you have a generator? Do you have panels? Do you have watches and stuff like that? I know I'm not 100% prepared that I should be. I got some of that stuff.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that we have added to our list of things that we need to have just in case, you know, we're good on water and things like that, but like, you know, non-perishable foods and stuff like that. Again, I'm not trying to be a hoarder where I'm going to have like 3 years worth of food, you know, hidden, but like a couple months worth.
What they say, you need 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You should be able to live.
I think 3 weeks.
3 weeks of food.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got that, but you should be able to live for 3 weeks while the chaos is going, you know. Also, if someone's trying to, so big thing now is people are stealing trucks and they're stealing like F-150s and Silverados, and they're stealing like high performance cars, like Corvettes and stuff. I don't know why, but that's like a big thing for stealing right now.
Hellcats and shit like that.
Right. If you're going to if you see someone on your camera and they're trying to take your car, and I know we all want to Sean Strickland it and go out there and be sick, right?
Yeah.
Defend your property. That's bullshit. You don't. The smart thing to do is to call the police, get ready,
right,
and leave your wall of defense in your house. That door's locked,
right,
and fuck your car.
Yeah,
right. Because if you go out there and get smoked, now what? Now your door's unlocked,
right,
and like, oh shit, he's down. Well, they come in,
right.
You're better off.
Right.
Don't leave. You don't want to overextend your fight range.
Well, let's say you do go out there and your wife locks the door behind you, but you get dropped. You don't think your wife's going to not unlock the door and run out there to you?
And then now what?
Yeah.
Now kids exposed. It's like fighting. You throw a big haymaker and you miss a big right hand, boom, you expose your face for strikes.
Yeah.
You go out there and try to stop, you've exposed your house for attack.
Yeah.
You're better off to just shorten your window, let whatever's happening out there bunker down. And have your family bunkered down somewhere else, and then so there's multiple lines of attacking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what I would do. But yeah, you got to be ready. And I don't think we're ready as society, as men nowadays. I don't think we're ready. I don't think we're ready for that as a whole. I think some people are.
Yeah.
But I also think some people are not. Some people are so busy, buying other things, they're not ready for when it happens. You should have a bond. You should have you should create an outside team. I got a neighbor and he's we've talked hey, this happens. I'm here. You're there. We the world was going crazy.
Right.
We already got a plan on the block, what we're going to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's good to have. You have someone hey, my house, we need heads. I need bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I need you bring your family here. Now we got 3 dudes.
Right.
We got to create a little faction.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever it takes, get here. This is that's smart. Go to your dad's house. You need more testosterone. As much testosterone as you can acquire to defend the females in your house. And now females are going to be hey, you don't need it. But whatever. I don't need defending. Oh, you will.
Yeah.
When it goes down, you will. But that's what we should do. Yeah,
that's one of the the things that again back in 2020 and stuff when shit was cracking off, I was just dude, what if shit pops off and I've gone to a concert and my phone doesn't work because it's too congested. You know what I mean? Not the satellite, but the cell towers are overloaded because there's too many people in one area that they can't handle all the traffic. And my phone says I have full bars, but it won't call out. And I have no data. It runs like shit.
SOS.
Yeah. It's what? So what do you do? So if something were to go down, how do I get to my fucking wife? You know what I mean? If she's at work and I'm at work in Escondido and she's up here and I'm 40 minutes away and I got to leave work and come get her and get my kid and get the fuck out of Dodge. You know what I mean? We drive to my parents' house in Arizona up in the mountains or something like that. You know what I mean? How do I get to her? How do I establish communication? So I purchased some.
And then you have older kids.
Right.
And you're gotta let them, do you guys have a plan if stuff goes down? Because I'm not here.
Right.
Hopefully you've told them yeah, Dad, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Hopefully there's more you have to worry about.
Right. Right. And they're not even remotely close to where I could just go grab. It's not like they're over in Riverside and I just go grab them on my way out of town or some shit, yeah. So it's I don't know. It's really been something that's been on my mind the last couple of weeks. And I've been actively taking purchasing items to make sure that my family is in a better spot, or we at least have an opportunity to be in a better spot.
I remember during the darkness of COVID, I almost died. I was really sick.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I was so sick, on oxygen, in an oxygen mask in the house. The world was going crazy and I could barely move. I could not defend my family. I couldn't even walk to a living room. I was that bad. The same thing. What if you're injured from training? You're I'm so vulnerable right now.
Right.
My leg pops out all the freaking time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, that's another thing you had to play into it. It's like,
hypothetically for that, is that something you could snap a knee brace on and like it
I
prevent
just
it
pop
from
it back in. I just,
right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, if dude, I got to do a little bit of jogging to get out of this hairy situation.
I could run right now when it's in.
Uh-huh.
I can run. And then when it pops out, I just got to pop it back
Right.
in.
But what I'm saying, would like a knee brace prevent it from popping out?
No, I don't think so. Maybe because it's not.
I mean, like the ones that are like
it's not
the bars on the outside.
Right. It's not an outer movement that pops it out. It's an inflection. When it goes in too much, like this, it's like as deep as it goes. But I brought it in a little bit more. It just locks.
Oh.
So it's like it's a this way. It's not a side to side.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just something. Just kind of food for
No,
thought.
we gotta be ready.
Yeah.
We gotta be ready. I don't think we're ready. I don't think we're ready.
I actually, when I was looking for a knife, I reached out to a couple of different people, but one of the guys I reached out to was a gentleman named Justin Flood. He's the Autos instructor in Texas, but he's also an instructor for Tim Kennedy's Sheepdog Response. Mm-hmm. So he teaches shooting instruction and knife fighting and things like that. And I was talking to him about like, knife recommendations, and he gave me a couple different ones. And then he was kind of talking about like, he goes, I really do love sport jiu-jitsu. And he goes, and that's why we teach, the new things like, the stuff that's hot in jiu-jitsu right now, the leg locks and whatnot. He goes, I do a lot of cross training with the guys down in Austin just to, at New Wave to make sure that I'm up on my game on that. But he goes, we also do a lot of, old school jiu-jitsu, like this is a fight. You know what I mean? It's not just about like, can I get neon belly and get, points for it? And can I get 4 points from out? Like, can I punch this person in the face? And so he's been posting a lot of videos in his no-gi class where he has plastic knives and he'll throw it in front of the group. And he's just like one in front of two people, he'll have a bunch of them.
Oh, he's like knife. And they're like, oh, and that's as your game.
Yep. And then sometimes he'll do like where they both have a knife. So you've got to like block or can you get the knife from him and then stab him back kind of a thing. So it just made me think like, I don't know. I want some more real life, realistic, real conflict.
No, I mean,
grappling training.
I try to add simulated strikes to my no-gi class, a couple rounds. I'm like, if it's padded, I'm going to play the pads.
Right.
If it's padded, aim for the pads, take someone down, wall walk, get up, climb up the pads. Like if it's padded, it's live. And I also try to be like, throw simulated strikes. Let them know that they can't just chill in half.
Gotcha.
You can't just, die for a leg, but where I'd punch you here.
Right.
A big thing in jiu-jitsu is you want to scoop the leg for a sweep when you're in close guard. I have my guard locked. I want to scoop under your leg and sweep you.
Mm-hmm.
An old MMA trick that I used to do all the time is I post my leg, wait for him to scoop it, then I drop to my knees. Now I've pinned your arm and I start delivering right hands.
Oh shit. Yeah.
That's like something I like to do a lot when I was doing my MMA back in the day. So there's a lot of stuff I like to add. Like you can't really do that. Like a jiu-jitsu guy I know wants to scoop the leg. Now I've got your hand. I trapped you.
Right.
So play the game. Simulated real life is a smart thing to do.
I've purchased some other items as well. So like when I typically want to go to the range, I'm just going with, some guns and I shoot, either steel or paper targets. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like I got a good tight grouping there. So I'm proficient at shooting. And I was talking to friends of my wife and I, and this is someone that was in Marine Corps and, was in combat situations and whatnot, and mentioned, hey, the next time we take a range trip, I think I'm going to bring like my plate carrier, and I want to shoot like with my belt, my battle belt, and my plate carrier on. He goes, I get that. You want to train the way you fight. So the next time I go to the range, like I'm going to be wearing the items that I would be wearing if shit were to go down and I needed to like suit up and get my family the fuck out of here kind of a thing. So it's like, there's going to be extra added weight on my shoulders from the plates, and there's going to be, mag strapped to my chest and things like that. So I think it would be an interesting jiu-jitsu experience to see like if I was in a hand-to-hand combat situation with that kind of stuff on as well, how would I fare? So,
and proper footwear. In SoCal,
right,
we get too comfortable in flip-flops here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't throwing flip-flops. You know what I mean? Have a sturdy shoe to wear.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to MMA, events,
You're
I
not wearing
always wear
flip-flops.
shoes.
Yeah.
But I'll never wear flip flops.
No.
Because what if your team wants to fight the other team, or some parents like it happens so much in the stands. If I go to a sporting event, period, or a concert, or any type of function where I know there's gonna be a lot of heads, I'm wearing shoes,
Right.
because flip flops is a horrible thing to fight in.
I'm gonna say this, and I hope when my wife listens, she doesn't take offense to this. When I go to a concert, when I'm with my like male friends or by myself, kind of, not that I've been to a concert by myself since I've been married, but like I went to a show with a couple of friends a few months back, and I can enjoy it in a different way because I don't have to worry about anybody but me, if that makes sense. When I go to any sort of an event with my wife, though I'm with my best friend and I'm having a great time, there's like 10 to 15% constant anxiety. If something weird were to happen right now, the shit that happened in Vegas with the shooting and whatnot. It's like if shit
I know people who were there.
Yeah. Like where am I getting, I'm constantly looking, where are exits? How am I getting my wife and I out of here? Are we in a situation? I'm always like conscious about
consciously.
Yeah. About where what do I have on me? Even when we go into a concert, like I won't take my full wallet. I'll take a card, like a credit card, my ID, because I know they need that. That's it. Empty pockets. I'm not worrying about people pickpocketing me because I'm minimal. You know what I mean?
Same.
So just little things like that. Like I just feel like anytime I'm in a situation where my wife, even when we go out to eat at a restaurant, I'm like aware of like where the exits are, how many people are in the restaurant when we walked in,
right?
Like where are they seated, like
what
do they look like?
You should be facing the door.
Yeah, totally.
So you can see people coming in and coming out. Why is your back to the door?
Yeah, no, every time.
I'm always facing the door.
The funny thing is, my wife she feels the same way. So it's just like, she always wants to face the door too. And I'm like,
I got it.
Yeah, but it's like
the same thing. I wouldn't take my kid to a football game, my family to a football game. Too many fights in the stands.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, as much as I love football, I'm not going to take him there because I don't. It's hard. Well, guys fall on my family and stuff like that. It's some drunk idiot.
Right.
Like, I feel like baseball is like the only one you can go to that's like pretty nice.
Yeah.
People are pretty friendly, but like basketball, like the security is not good. We saw what happened at Jiu-Jitsu World League a couple of months back. Right. Shit went down in the stands.
Yeah.
So you got to be ready.
Yeah. Someone got cracked in the face with a fucking medal, which is insane. Imagine taking your child's medal and smashing someone in the face with it.
David and Goliath with it.
That's wild. So yeah, that's my rant on that.
Also road rage.
Oh,
it
totally.
is not worth it.
Fuck no.
Fuck no, dude.
No.
As much as I want to chase you down and be like, there's too many people strapped, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen too many videos of people just getting murked over someone getting cut off.
Right.
So dumb. Don't do that.
Well, and I was actually thinking about all this while I was showering before the pod, and I was just like every weapon has a purpose, right? So it's like obviously a gun is the ultimate equalizer. However, you're not always in a situation where you need to use the gun, and you don't. You know what I mean? Like I feel like as a man, like you should be able to fight, obviously, but like fists are a way to get to a knife. Knife is a way to create enough space to get to your pistol. A pistol is enough space, or is a way to get enough space to get to your rifle. Like everything is a step to the better defense platform.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, if you're in a fight, especially if you're fighting somebody that's got a gun in their pocket, like first of all, pulling a gun out of a pocket is not an easy thing to do. Second, pulling a gun out of a pocket when you're in a tussle is also not an easy thing to do. So like you need to be able to like strike, but also like be aware of where their hands are. You know what I mean?
Right.
Can I keep my hands above them? Can I see them at all times? And then like, do they have a knife on them? Knives are easy to pull. That's part of knife training is like you carry it in a concealed spot, like usually in your belt line where you don't see it. And they make knives that have no metal in them, like zero, that are very sharp and can definitely kill someone. And you can buy these online and like walk into an airport with it. You know what I mean? Walk straight through a metal detector and they have no idea.
My grandfather told me when I was young, he said, if you ever pull a gun, you better shoot it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't disflaunt it.
Right. You saw that clip that was
the guy's blinded and boom, shot in the head, boom.
Yeah.
Don't do that. If you're going to pull it, you better shoot it. He's all, bad guys are not afraid to shoot it.
Right.
You do not be afraid to shoot it.
I agree.
You're better off asking questions later, defending yourself in front of a jury of 12.
Right. Well, that's why as soon as the guy came out and he's beating on the door and the guy didn't shoot him yet. And he was even like, because the window was down, he was like in the dude's face. And as soon as he pulled the gun up, he shot in the face. I'm not going to let you threaten me with a gun. If I see you pull a gun, you're dead.
No,
you know?
yeah. What the heck are we doing here?
Yeah. 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 I know that if I'm pulling a gun, it's to shoot you. Therefore, if you're pulling a gun, I would be stupid not to assume the same.
And that guy's, I guarantee you that guy gets off.
Oh, he already did. I read a follow-up article on it. Yeah, totally.
See, pays to read. I don't read.
But yeah.
But yeah, good topic.
Listening to your body. This is something you talked about in the past, I guess, on a Oath Nation blog or whatever.
I did a vlog about this a while back ago, and as much as we want to stay training, this kind of goes within like being vulnerable when you're injured, right? We just got onto this topic. You got to be able to realize that combat sports are going to outlive us all.
Yeah.
And I know you want to rush back from that popped rib or that tweaked back or that hurt shoulder or that kink in your neck, but jiu-jitsu is not going nowhere. Neither is MMA, neither is Muay Thai, neither is fake Filipino martial arts. They're all going to be here. So trust your body, because you're just going to hurt yourself again. Don't just focus on your journey in martial arts. Don't focus on, oh my God, I started with Jeff and he's training hard. And he's competing and he's doing this and he's doing that. And now he got a gold and now he's got one more stripe. It will all matter. Jiu-jitsu takes 10 years to get to the end, which is actually just the beginning. You'll get there. Jeff is going to have his own ups and downs. He's going to hit his wall. He's going to have his injuries. He's going to have his going through a divorce. His financial can't afford to train. You're going to have yours. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, listen to your body. If you're hurt and you can't train right now, take time off. That's fine. Go watch. Be a student of a study. I had a vasectomy 2 weeks ago. I'm not rolling yet. Why? Because my bag is hurt. I got to take time off as much as I want to roll. My leg keeps popping out. It's hard for me to roll. I'm so frustrated. I'm going to have to get this knee done. I can't roll because I'm just going to hurt it even more. And then my surgery's going to be done. If you have a hurt rib and you're like, oh, I got a bang rib, I'm feeling pretty good today, I'm going to go back. Give it 2 more weeks. If you think you're ready to come back, give it 2 more weeks. Because then you'll be really ready. Why are we going to go back and be like, oh, no, I tweaked it again. Damn it. Now you're out again. Trust your body. Like, injuries is part of this. If you think you get into combat sports or jiu-jitsu and you're not going to get hurt, you're crazy. You're going to get hurt.
Right.
People are like, I just don't want to get hurt. When I say, hey, you should try jiu-jitsu, it's great. It'll change your life. It's the best thing.
Right.
For your mental, for your physical. You'll lose weight. You'll meet friends instantly. You know what I mean? You'll have confidence. You'll have swag. You know what I mean? Don't even talk about getting purple belt. But like, if life is going to be great, like, I just don't want to get hurt. I say, you're going to get hurt. Jiu-jitsu, you were going to get 1,000 paper cuts, little banged up injuries.
Right.
And probably 3 real bad ones. And that's just it. It comes with it. I can't afford to get hurt. I got to support my family. You do. But as we just talked about,
right,
you have to support them. I get that. But can you support them when it goes down?
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And I feel like more than ever, you know what? The anxiety that I feel like I'm feeling as an adult now is reminiscent of what the anxiety must have felt like remember when the OJ shit went down and they were like scared of verdicts, and then like the riots in Watts and LA, and then like I lived in San Diego, so there was always a constant fear. I remember my mom telling me when I was like 6 or 7, like going outside to play, like, hey, if you hear anything, you know, about like rioting or anything like this, like you need to come home immediately. Like, you know,
if the Chargers win.
Yeah, there was like a genuine fear, like if, you know, that shit could come to our doorstep kind of a thing. So like, you know, be aware and, you know, get to safety. So,
I get you can't afford jiu-jitsu. It's expensive. I get that. I get you can't afford to get hurt on top of that because you got to provide for your family. But if the world goes to hell, which is possible, look at other countries.
Yeah.
Can you protect your family? And how much value is risking a little nagging injury here and there and walking with a stiff neck? Is that worth being ready when it happens? Train so you don't have to try when it goes down.
Yeah. Stop being one-dimensional in your jiu-jitsu.
Some of the best jiu-jitsu guys in competition have a certain game. They get to their game, they win, and they win the same way every time.
They're just so good at their game.
Like
that
I get to my half,
it.
I get to my sweep, I pass, boom, boom, boom. I get this certain takedown, I hit it, I get to the side, boom, boom. Yours truly has a certain style that I like to do, a certain way I like to get a win. A takedown, I like off a certain takedown setup, a certain, either it's with a pick or a throw. I hit it, I get the side control, boom, 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 work my side control game, get the win. But that does not mean that in the training room, you should allow your ego to only go that way. You should put yourself in a guard if you don't play. You should put yourself in a half guard. You should put yourself in a bad spot because especially as a big, it can be very, very easy to be just on top, heavy, smash, smash, smash. And like you should be on bottom. Anybody, if you're a big guy, you should be pulling guard on anybody under 200 pounds because you should work off your back. That's a good time to work on your closed guard. Everybody knows that you're probably going to win if you're on top. And if you're using if you're just being on top because you're creating a rest round for yourself, that's an ego check.
So take your W's in the training room so that you can take your wins.
Little guys lose all the time in class.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to lose because they can't predict. They have to be on their back and get smashed.
You know how we always talk about the ego check of jiu-jitsu and whatnot? Do you think it's harder for bigs to get the ego check?
100%. It's harder to be a big dude who, I can bench 315 and I'm this and I'm that. And then come in there and get scissor sweeped or get something dumb happen to you and there's some little guy all over you because you feel like you've been told like the big guy gets the biggest steak and the this. It's hard to have that mindset, get smoked by little dudes. It's hard. But I'm 260, bro. Like that doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? Like you got to. Like just because you're tired in training doesn't mean you should stay on top and smash guys. You should be pulling guard. And now you could really focus on your jiu-jitsu because now you have no strength. You have no cardio. You have no gas. Now let's see how good that guard really is. Practice it when it goes down. That's what in a shark take round, when you're around minute 15, I did this for my 40th birthday, and you're around minute 15, minute 16, and you're getting ragdolled by little guys. Now, how good is your jiu-jitsu?
Right.
I did it. My jiu-jitsu was okay. I was getting murked. And I left home for my birthday, and I was like, man, at around minute 15, and I was really, really tired, and it's on my YouTube if you want to check it out. You want to see your boy get absolutely destroyed, Oast Nation BJJ YouTube. I was vulnerable because I shark tanked, and then around minute 17, guys were getting the best of me. It happens. But you should put yourself there in training because what happens if you have to do it in a real life situation like we were just talking on the first topic?
Right.
Training for real life or not?
Right.
You're not always going to hit that takedown. You're not always going to hit that pass. You're not always going to hit that certain game that makes jiu-jitsu great and fun for you. Sometimes jiu-jitsu's got to be shitty for you. Sometimes jiu-jitsu is shitty. Sometimes it's good to be the nail. Sometimes it's good to be the nail put in the wood sideways too.
Yeah. There's definitely times where I walk out being the nail and I ache and you just feel like, fuck, nothing went right for me tonight. And like you start to question things. But I think there's a certain appreciation there because it's a reality check that I still have a lot to learn. And what just happened to me, I can get there and I can do that to someone else. Right. I just got to stay with it.
Right. And I think higher belts have it harder because we don't want to be the nail no more. And sometimes you're in a smaller gym or you're even the professor of your gym. And you have this thing where you don't want to lose in front of your other students or you don't want to, put yourself in bad spots. But I'm not afraid to, honestly, as I've got older, I'm not afraid to get Shark Tanked by my guys. I'm not afraid to lose in front of my guys because I'm just a human being too.
Right.
And I need to be in these bad spots. I need to get smoked. I need to get beat. I hope all my students beat me, or all Poncho students that I'm teaching beat me, right? I don't want to. I always want to get better. And right now, am I ranked the highest in the gym? Am I the best in the class? Yes, most times, yes. But it doesn't mean that I can't learn something.
Right.
From another man. And I just got to put myself in those spots to be vulnerable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you kind of abandon the things that you're good at, you know.
As a big guy, it's very easy for me to do that. I could just be like, no, I'm going to be on top. I'm heavy. Smash them.
Right.
And I do get to those spots. But sometimes I like to get those spots from my back first rather than just do what I know I can do.
Yeah. Lately, I've been forcing myself, like, let me try to learn some other guards so I can, and then like tie them to the thing that I'm good at. You know what I mean? Like I'm good at half. I'm good at lockdown half. So what can I learn that I can tie to that? And I'm fortunate that I have a coach that plays half and plays it well.
Oh, it plays very well.
So he's, and he likes to play single X and X. So now I'm like, I don't know, this last week, it was like, I was going for like straight ankle locks and playing Ashi. And it's just because I know that from the past. I know that from my time at 10th Planet. So it's like, well, how do I get here from half? And Jason showed me this like little transition, like half to butterfly to single X. And I'm like, wow, that was really easy. You know?
Do you think Eddie Bravo thinks the 10th Planet is flat?
No. Did remember when we first started doing the pod, I think I sent you that clip about somebody talking about the Anunnaki and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
And so that the 10th planet, which is Nibiru, that's where the Anunnaki live.
Mm.
And it's like once every 10,000 years it comes into orbit.
And they came down here and they made a bunch of people and now we work for them.
Yeah.
And like it's a whole thing. It's some real deep shit, dude.
But that's where that came from. The origin, from what I understand, the origin of the story of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu is him and Joe Rogan were high as giraffe pussy. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about names and he said, well, it'll be, Nibiru Jiu-Jitsu. And Joe Rogan's like, no. Like no one's gonna know what the fuck that is. And then he's like, it's the 10th planet. He's like 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
What is your thoughts on virtual reality? Okay, I'm gonna ask you some questions right now, Kenny. Get ready.
Okay.
Because I know you're a techie, okay, and I'm not. So there's virtual reality. They say it's in like 15 years, 20 years, it's gonna be huge.
Okay.
Where you could actually buy real estate in virtual reality because people are gonna be in virtual reality so much.
Yeah.
Are you a good person that's gonna buy a virtual reality real estate?
No.
What if it's like taken off where like you can go and this is a world, everybody's in it. You can create your avatar, yourself, your body, have a whole new life in there.
The only person this is just my opinion, the only person that's going to make any money, like real money, is whoever develops the world that gets adopted. And I think there's that will be the first digital war, will be between companies, like real war. Like I don't mean like guns and shit like that, but I mean like a battle for like, because like Facebook tried it with the metaverse, you know what I mean? And it's like Facebook even bought out I think it's Oculus. They bought some VR company to integrate the technology into the metaverse. But it's like, and I think they were kind of hoping the pandemic and people being locked in would be a big push for that, but it kind of flopped. So
I think there's a call for it because what's that movie called where the kid puts the
Ready Player One?
Ready Player One.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's like, wow, this could be a thing, right?
But what I'm getting at is like, okay, so if we're talking about like a digital world that it's not real, okay, it's a virtual reality. It's endless, you know what I mean? And there's nothing like, does real estate really hold a value if I'm in?
Because you can just create another beach.
Right. And
it would have to be like a
and
walk.
then you can instantly travel there too. So it's just like, okay, let's say hypothetically the real estate that you purchase is a light year away, but I want to go visit you. It's digital. I can just
It'd
literally
have
go.
to be
I'm
like
there.
a locked.
Yeah.
thing where there's only so much space.
And that's where so you have to almost create, in order for it to hold value,
Like a Minecraft.
Yeah, in order for it to hold value, it would have to have, there would have to be like the supply, the demand would have to outweigh the supply. That's what creates value in things, right? Well, if the supply is unlimited, then there will never be value because there's an unlimited supply of it. There's no urgency to purchase this thing because you're never going to run out of it. So, yeah, if you were to create like a locked universe that had a finite amount of space it's like you would have to convince people that like there is no more after this and there's never going to be another world created again. So you got to get in now.
Like they simulate, we recreated Earth, but digitally.
Yeah.
Now you can be the body you want to be. You can live wherever you want to be. Everything's in Earth is created as it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would just rather live in actual reality.
Because the way people are overweight and the people, it's like definitely a thing where people want to do. Would want to do. I think.
What's funny is I was thinking about recently, like because Elon Musk constantly talks about like the probability that we're living in a simulation is actually higher than the probability we're not living in a simulation. And I think when the question was asked, whose life would you like to look at, like personal
Last
life?
week,
Yeah.
Elon.
No, my initial thought when I read the question was, well, if we are living in a simulation, then that technically means that like if this is the simulation that I'm living in, like you're not even real. You're only real when you're in front of me or when I'm having a conversation with you on the phone or via text message. So like your family doesn't even really exist unless you're talking to me about, you know what I mean? Like that's you break it down like the simulation, like it just doesn't make sense to me. So what
about Neuralink stuff? Like, do you believe like an instant Google, like
some of that? So I didn't watch the podcast.
You're such a techie. I feel like you would be down for like, all I have to do is think about it and there's my answer.
No.
You don't want that in your head?
No, I like the fact that I can walk to a device and access the internet, but then I can walk away from it and now it's detached to me.
You don't want to be hacked.
Yes. I don't want, and then there's things that I've said, done, thought that I'm not necessarily proud of, and I don't want those anywhere.
No.
On the internet. So it's like,
no, we clear the history for a reason. You know, we clear the history and the cookies for a reason.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to be connected to the internet.
What about like one thing I think is cool about it? Like I can help a blind person see again.
Yeah.
That's
don't get me wrong. I think it's neat. I just right now where I'm at in my life and where the technology is currently at in my life, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. That may change in 10 years or 50 years. You know what I mean? For our kids, it might not even be an option. You know what I mean? Our younger kids, like, Sadie may have to do something like that. It might come down to like, if you don't have this, you're going to be so far behind the curve when it comes to like education and like ability to do things that like you're not going to be able to have a job because you're just so much. You're not as smart as everybody. I wouldn't say you're dumb, but you're not as smart as everybody else because they have the access to all of the information that's ever existed digitally instantly in their head.
I feel like that when I'm talking to you and like Kenny, he was like talking about, it's upload to here and then this.
Nate,
and then,
yeah.
And then, or you and Nate, yeah. And I was like, oh, this is this. And well, I'll just upload this. I'll move this down here. And then I'm just like, the fuck are these guys talking about?
There's a lot of stuff that
I was like, you guys want a bench?
No.
What do you bench? No one talks. No one asks that no more in society. Like, hey, what's your bench? No one. When's the last time you asked someone what's your bench?
Never in my life.
Fuck, dude. Like that was a thing for me. What's your bench? Kenny's like, well, then we upload this, and then we download this, and then like I'll just crop it from here.
I'm like, oh, you want to go to the gym, nerd?
I'm the geek. No one asks what you bench anymore. And that makes me sad because there's a place for a good bench press. That's a lost vocabulary that we've lost in this society. Very sad.
Guys, here's why your hormones suck.
If you're listening to this, then chances are you may be one of countless guys who are struggling to see the results they want in the gym, in the mirror, or even in the bedroom. Most guys are focused on testosterone. However, that's only 50% of the answer.
Without adequate growth hormone
And its end result, growth factors, you can't optimally absorb the testosterone you have, no matter if it's synthetic or natural.
that's where BioPro Plus comes in.
BioPro Plus fills in what you're missing out on to help maximize your performance in the gym and even how you look in the mirror without any needles, side effects, or doctor visits, all at a fraction of the cost of synthetic treatments. Over the last few years, BioPro Plus has been taking the medical community by storm as a faster, easier to use, and 100% safe alternative to prescription HGH and peptide treatments. It's become an underground favorite for professional and combat sports athletes and has been featured in Men's Journal, Muscle and Fitness, and even venture capitalist magazines.
Simply put, BioPro Plus is getting real guys, real results really fast. Check them out and enjoy your new look on life.
Wendy the Barber asks, fuck, marry, kill, Hillary Clinton, Kamala, or Helen Keller?
Brother,
Plot twist, Kamala is laughing the entire time.
Well, I think Kamala's got a resume on her that would probably be my F. I'd probably fuck Kamala because she's got a resume.
I think everybody's heard about that resume.
Yeah,
She's
you know,
gotten to the vice president's
hanging out with Montel Jordan. I'd probably kill Hillary because
The bitch needs to die.
she's killed a lot of people, so I've heard. You know what I mean?
We're not getting canceled. Matt's just going to die after this episode. So.
Yeah. There'll be another guy here, and he won't ask what your bench is. And then, I'll probably Helen Keller, I'd probably marry, I guess. At least they're females. Sometimes, your wife be asking, like, hey, who you effing as a dude? No, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
I know some people are into that. That's cool.
I'm going to
but,
agree with that 100%. The upside of marrying Helen Keller is she doesn't talk
Mm-hmm.
and she can't hear you.
Mm.
So do you think she'd get like extra offended because if you fart, she's only going to smell it and
she's
it's
gonna
too
smell
late?
it. She's going to smell it. Every fart you fart is going to be like a fart in a shower. Like you cannot. Hey.
That was such a potent description.
Hey, there's never been a fart in a shower that didn't stink.
Oh, no. It steams up and you're just like,
brutal, dude.
there's never going to be any arguments.
No.
And even if she is disgusted by it, it's just going to be some noises that you're not going to.
Yeah. No, that's it.
Good choice.
Good choice. Good times.
Anonymous asks, why do people get so upset over the punch choke? I was told that it hurts, but doesn't all BJJ?
There's some sensitive motherfuckers out there, Anonymous. People don't like to tap. When they tap to something dumb, they feel dumb for tapping to it.
Yeah.
I still mad I tapped at a wrist lock last tournament. I'm like, my arm was cracking, but I was like, man, I should have just fought through that. Bitch ass shit.
I'm glad you didn't.
But you know what I mean? I'd be sitting here with a hurt knee, a hurt wrist, and a broken bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's really jacked up right now. But, punch choke is legit. Punch chokes are legit. It's kind of like a blunt choke. Blunt chokes, like also tap someone to a rape choke or a mother's milk. Really pisses them off because you feel inferior. That I can't believe I just tapped that bullshit.
That's how I feel about getting tapped in knee on belly.
Yeah.
Some people, my knee on belly sucks dick, but some people's knee on belly is so good that I feel like when I try to get out of it, they'll switch over. Like Mateo would be so fast at it. He would just switch knees to the other side.
Switches knee on belly like he switches schools.
Yeah.
Had to be said, dude. Had to be said, dude. Draw a line, bro.
At least they're all check mats.
They're all check mats, baby. Let's pick one, baby. Come on.
Another anonymous tips for white belts who get bumped up to a heavier weight class at a competition.
This happens. Sometimes, I know sometimes you're like, well, jiu-jitsu guys never bump up weight classes. But in the higher levels, sometimes jumping up a weight class is good. Now, at white belt, I can see don't look at they're like I've said many times before. It's their first tournament too, probably, or their first top 5 tournaments they've ever done. 10 pounds up a weight class, down a weight class. You don't get to pick your weight class in sparring, right?
Right.
So just go, man. You're a white belt. No one's going to remember this except you 6 months from now. Your coach isn't going to remember. Your teammates are going to remember because they're worrying about their matches. So just go do your thing. Well, so you got moved up. It's better to move up at white belt and fight somebody than not fight anybody, no smoke.
Right.
Like, obviously, if there's no smoking division, you're at a little tournament. So since you're at a little tournament, go up there and fight whoever you're going to fight. Like, just have fun. Like that. There should be no nerves. Now, upper belts, sometimes guys will go up in weight class because they'll see that they have like 12 or 13 guys in their bracket. And if they go up to ultra heavyweight, there's only 6 guys. They're like, oh, it's an easier way to gold. So that happens sometimes, like super heavy, ultra heavy. But white belt, whatever weight you're at, just have fun. Like you're worried too much about winning and losing and not enough about learning. So your first tournament should just be about learning and experiencing what it's like, that adrenaline rush, that adrenaline dump. The forearms are spazzing out. That whole mode is a simulation, like what we talked about earlier today. It's not that serious, like life or death, but it kind of gives you that like, oh, wow. Like it's a real intense thing. And that's what we're there for. We're there to experience the intensity of a real tournament. So don't worry about winning or losing. Embrace the intensity, embrace the love of competing.
That's it, brother.
You think what I'm thinking, bro?
Aim for the bushes.
Aim for the fucking bushes. Follow me at OsNation BJJ. Follow Kenny at Freak Party BJJ. Follow Wendy at Wendy the Barber. She's asking a question. Give her a follow. Get a haircut while you're at it. You know, she'll give you a fuck, marry, kill. Say BJJ Balance podcast sent me here.
She'll come up with it on the spot too.
And she'll come with it right on the spot. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on the BJJ Balance Discord. Screen grab it. Circle it. Let us know that you're listening and we'll share it. My name is Matt. This is Kenny. This is the BJJ Balance podcast. And we'll see you next week. Os.